In the Joe Blog studio today. I'm actually down at the beach. So which beach am I at? I'm at St Kilda Beach in Melbourne, Australia. So if you followed me, you'll know that I did a live stream recently on the plane to Melbourne, Australia. I'm now here doing a live stream down here on the beach. And one of the reasons I'm doing this is because I'm trying to change things up a bit. If you follow me, you'll know I posted a video recently saying I needed to change my working practices. I was just going insane, sitting in the Joe Blog studio, just looking at the four walls and talking about the same stuff and not getting to see anything in the real world. So decided to do an extreme trip to Australia, go whatever it is, 10,000 miles on a plane, 24 hours down here, just to check out the beach and be able to come live to you from the other side of the world. And one of the reasons is obviously it's I'm in the southern hemisphere now, so it's summer down here, so nice and warm. That's why I've got the shades on. So apologies for anybody who doesn't like me in shades, but it's to protect my vision. Oh, I can see that some people have joined, so hello to anyone who's on. It's probably only me and you, and that's it. And actually, I went to the Australian Open yesterday, and somebody came up to me and said, "Hey, are you Joe Blogs?" And I said, "I am." And so I did a selfie with them, and he said he and his dad watched the show. So if you're in Melbourne and you see me wandering around down the beach here, or who knows where, then feel free to come up and say hello, and I'd be very happy to have a chat with you and take a selfie or whatever. But the reason that I'm doing this live stream today isn't just to talk about the beach and me, it's to talk about the fact that the deal has now been signed between the USA and NATO. Well, I don't think the ink has dried just yet, but the terms of the deal seem to have been agreed between Donald Trump and Mark Rutte, who's the Secretary General of NATO. And the terms of that deal are that the USA is now able to start putting missiles into Greenland, which is one of the first times that that's happened. So the USA did have 17 bases in Greenland previously at its height. It's only got one major one now, but it didn't really station a lot of missiles. So that's a new development, and it's all part of Donald Trump's golden dome that he wants to put into place to protect, well, the USA, NATO, whoever you want to talk about. So that's a new development from the USA and Greenland's perspective. And the other thing that's in that deal is that the USA is now going to have the rights to mine some of the rare earth minerals and other minerals that are located in Greenland. So, and the rationale behind that is that it's to stop China from doing it, because China's obviously got a very strong position at the moment in terms of rare earths and other types of minerals. So it's basically a defensive strategy to prevent China becoming even more dominant. And in exchange for that, Donald Trump has agreed to firstly not impose the tariffs against the 8 European countries that he was originally threatening to do so. So that's great from those countries' point of view. And also he's agreed that Greenland can remain part of Denmark. So if we take a step back, I did a video on this recently talking about Donald Trump's art of the deal. Whatever you think about Donald Trump, he's a really good negotiator. You know, he knows how to get what he wants. And in the art of the deal, the logic on it is that you start off with an extremely aggressive position. I'll just step here for a second because lots of people walking past me, and I'm going to bump into somebody on a bike in a second. So you start off with a really aggressive position, something that's untenable for everybody, so something outrageous. So in this example, it's the USA needs to own Greenland. We're going to invade it, we're going to take it by military force if we have to, but it's absolutely essential that the US takes Greenland. So everybody then says, oh my God, this is outrageous, this can never happen, nobody's happy about it. You then say, okay, this is definitely happening. So it goes on for a period of time, people then start becoming accustomed to it and saying, this might happen. You know, it's not just talk. The USA might actually invade Greenland. And the fact that they recently invaded Venezuela and are now running the country tells us that it's a possibility. You know, it could actually genuinely happen. So you sow that seed of doubt in everybody's mind that something outrageous is actually feasible. And then eventually you bring the situation back to where you actually wanted it to be. So that's what's happened here. That is the art of the deal. So if we just take a step back and think about what the USA have done and where they are right now, the USA has basically got a situation whereby it's now able to put missiles into Greenland and also mine all of the minerals that are in Greenland for its own benefit. So if the USA had come out with that as a proposal within the last few months, said, okay, what we want to do is put lots and lots of missiles into Greenland and also take all of the minerals out of Greenland, Denmark would have said, oh, no, we don't want that, because we might be potentially triggering some sort of conflict with Russia or China, putting missiles in there. And also, why would we give you our minerals? Because they're ours, that we own them. We don't want you to take them. But the fact that the USA set out this proposal whereby they were going to just take Greenland away from Denmark and also punish all of the countries that were threatening to support Greenland, so the 8 countries that sent military over to Greenland, it now looks like Donald Trump is conceding. He's saying, okay, we won't take the country from you and we won't impose these tariffs. Now, neither of those two things existed a couple of months ago. The USA wasn't threatening to take Greenland and the tariffs didn't exist. So it's not a huge concession. In fact, there's no concession at all because none of those things existed. But it's really interesting, I think, the way that this deal has come about, that it now feels like Europe has won some sort of, they've avoided the tariffs and they've avoided losing Greenland. But neither of those two things were actually going to happen. So I think it's a great example of how Donald Trump gets what he wants. And fair play to him. Whatever you think of Donald Trump, he is a really good negotiator. And on a global perspective, it looks like he's now decided that, to come up with a compromise deal, even though he's only compromising against his own previous proposal. So I wanted to post this video really just to talk about that, just to bring you up to speed on what's happened, the fact that Greenland isn't going to be part of the USA, it's not going to be invaded, we're not going to see a military fight between the countries of Europe and the USA. NATO is going to survive, it will continue existing. So all of the negative stuff that we talked about recently, none of it's going to happen. But what is going to happen is that the USA is able now to put missiles into Greenland, which will help it from its offensive Golden Dome proposal, whereby it wants to have this complete shield to be able to protect the USA. And it's also going to be able to mine a lot of the minerals that are there, which is hugely valuable from the US's point of view, and means that it will have another option rather than having to buy all of those minerals from China. So it weakens China's position economically. So just wanted to bring you up to speed on that, take you on a stroll with me along the beach. Hopefully you can hear the birds tweeting in the background. This is a really nice part of the world. Not too busy down here at St Kilda. It's not, as beaches go, it's not the most glamorous. We've got quite a lot of ships moving in the distance. But it's nice. The sand is very golden. The water's good. I don't think there's any sharks here. It's quite shallow. This water goes out for a long time before you get even waist deep. So you're unlikely to get bitten by a shark, as you might do in other parts of Australia. There's been a few shark attacks recently. So yeah, I just wanted to bring you down here, talk about why I'm in Australia, just having a little bit of R&R, bit of rest and relaxation, sort of resetting the batteries, thinking about the future of Joe Blogg's channel, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to take it forward, because I've been doing it for 5 years, and there comes a point in any business and any whatever you're doing where you have to say, okay, what next? Where's it going? How's it doing? And as I shared in previous videos, the videos don't get as many views as they used to. Part of the reason for that is that I pulled back on just talking about Russia. So a few years ago I was doing a lot more on Russia. I'm still doing quite a lot. But I think that's been a change, a sort of conscious change of mine. I wanted to move to do more economic coverage of other countries, and also I want to do some other stuff. So I'm doing some food videos, I'm doing some travel videos. It's a bit more fun, it's a bit more interesting for me to do, rather than just doing research and talking about politics all the time, which I know most of you, that's what you're interested in. But hopefully you might enjoy coming with me on the journey to talk about some other stuff and have a look at some more fun things. But yeah, I'm down here to just go through, think about all of those sorts of things. So hopefully you've enjoyed this live stream. If you managed to join me, how many likes have I got? I've got 30 likes. So I don't know how many people, it says 81 people are watching at the moment. So not all the people who are watching have given me a like. See if you can bang that like button and get the likes up a little bit. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this live stream. I want to do more of these going forward. I think it's an interesting way of sort of connecting with you and talking to, this is live, so this is what I'm doing right this second. So it also enables me to talk about things that are happening really quickly. so I don't have to spend all day researching and doing the video and editing and uploading and all of that good stuff. You can literally just push the button and start talking. So I want to do a bit more of this, so hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, then let me know in the comments. Thanks for joining today. If you have, thanks for watching this, if you're watching on the repeat later, and look out for more live streams coming. Who knows what time they'll be, because I'm in Australia, so goodness knows what time it is where you are at the moment. I know the UK is 11 hours behind where I am. I don't know where that means that people in the US are like 15, 16, 17, 18 hours behind me. So it becomes a bit too difficult to keep track of, but got the likes up to 50 odd now. So thank you very much for everyone that's just hit the like button. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching this video through to the end. Thanks also to everyone that's supported me in various ways. And if you bought a ticket in my competition, thank you so much for that. And I will see you again on the next video.